So today is Christmas, and I would just never know how to answer that because I never did get gifts, which I struggle to understand, but I also understand. And I think what made it like so difficult for me to accept the fact that my Christmas day looked different than other people's was just that. Hi guys, it's Subhi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Subhi_Sundaram. So today's video is different from the usual kinds of videos I post on this channel, but I really think that what I'm going to be talking about today is really important to talk about because I don't think that there's enough people really talking about this, at least from what I've seen and heard. So that's why I'm making this video, and I'm just hoping that this can provide a different perspective from what's seen as like normal. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So today is Christmas, and I kind of just wanted to talk about what Christmas felt like growing up. I'm 17 now, so I'm not fully grown up obviously, but I just wanted to kind of talk about how like my childhood was with Christmas, because I'm not Christian, so I don't celebrate Christmas, but obviously I live in America and Christmas is kind of seen as like the national holiday. Like, it's not a national holiday, but it's definitely the holiday that's kind of the most nationally recognized, and we get school off and work off, so it's definitely like a nationally recognized holiday that's a big deal, which is great. But the best way I can describe Christmas as someone who does not celebrate Christmas and isn't Christian is Christmas kind of feels like a party that you're expected to be at, but you were never really invited to in the first place. So a little bit about my childhood and growing up and Christmas. I never got gifts. I still don't get gifts. My parents never got me gifts. I never really knew about the concept of Santa until I think when I went to elementary school. I just remember being so jealous of everyone who would like come back from like winter break with gifts, and they would have like new shoes and new clothes and like a new Xbox and new this and that and that and that, and I was just like, it sucks because that's never going to be my reality. In my culture, there's no one holiday where you get as many gifts as Christmas. For me, my birthday was the closest thing to Christmas, but even for my birthday, I never got that many gifts or anything. Like, it was never as big of a deal. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful by this. As a child, I just didn't really understand, and I was just upset because I also had friends that weren't Christian, and my friends who weren't Christian celebrated Christmas different than I did. So some people who aren't Christians still like partake in Christmas traditions, and they like still exchange gifts and still spend the day with family and things. But for my family personally, we never did any of that. So I never got gifts. We never like made it a family day or anything. Like for this year, for example, Christmas falls on a Friday, and Friday is still a weekday. So my dad is still working. So Christmas is no different from any other day for our family. And I think what made it like so difficult for me to accept the fact that my Christmas day looked different than other people's was just that it was such a big deal. Like, I remember the build up, especially in elementary school. Like, we would make gingerbread houses and have Christmas parties and things, and everyone would be talking about like what they were putting on their Christmas wish list and what they were asking for Christmas, and like everyone would write letters to Santa. And when you got back from break, even teachers would ask you in the new year, they would be like, oh, what did everyone get for Christmas? Like, what was your favorite gift that you got for Christmas? And I would just never know how to answer that because I never did get gifts. And I could have just said that like I didn't celebrate, but like it just became this whole thing of like, what? You don't celebrate Christmas? As if it was like a crime that I didn't celebrate Christmas. And like people would like compare me to the Grinch and stuff, and I was just like, that's not what it is though. It's just not something that we do in my culture, and that's that. So that's all I really have to say about gifts, I guess. But still, on the same topic, I wanted to talk about Santa. So when I was little, I wanted to believe in Santa so bad. So I always knew that Santa wasn't real because I was never like raised with that like belief that Santa comes to your house and like, you know, whatever. Like, I heard Christmas songs, and in my elementary school we had this tradition where the last day of school before like winter break, we would get together and sing like holiday songs like as the whole school, and obviously I heard like Christmas songs and stuff. So that's kind of like where I like learned the like tradition around Christmas and like Santa and all of that. But I was still so fixated on the idea of Santa, and second grade was the year where I really tried to make myself believe in Santa. And the whole time my parents were just kind of like, like we don't know what to do about this. But second grade, I remember I wrote letters to Santa. I like addressed it to like the North Pole and stuff, and I like literally like in my letters I would like ask for things and stuff, of course, and I'd literally beg for Santa to like write me back or to like give me presents or just anything. And I was just fixated on the idea of Santa and the concept that if you were like a good kid and you did like good things or whatever, that your good actions and good deeds would be rewarded in the form of gifts by Santa. I just wanted that so bad as a child. And as a child, like the whole like he knows if you've been bad or good and like that whole thing, it was just like I wanted to be seen as like a good kid, like so bad, and I wanted that like reward of materialistic gifts. And yeah. Okay, now I just wanted to talk about some personal experiences of like specific examples of when I felt really uncomfortable with the way people have like addressed Christmas around me, I guess. So I already like kind of talked about like some of these briefly, but I wanted to talk about like the kids at school. So in elementary school, and even now honestly, like I'm a senior in high school, but I think people just like struggle to conceptualize that people don't celebrate the same holidays as you. And I understand that Christmas is like such a big holiday for so many people, and that's great. But I think it's really important to understand that just because one holiday is so like great for you and big for you and whatever, it's not the same for everyone else, and you shouldn't expect it to be the same for everyone else. So like some things that I've like been asked and stuff that have just kind of put me in like a weird position where I don't really know what to say is just like the casual, what do you want for Christmas this year? Or once I explain that I don't celebrate Christmas and that my family doesn't celebrate Christmas and stuff, follow-up questions that are kind of just like, oh, so when do you get gifts? Or like, oh, that must be so sad, and like things like that. Like I just hate the whole like, oh, you don't celebrate Christmas, then that just must be so sad for you. Like I never felt like I should be sad about not celebrating Christmas until people told me that, oh, that must be so sad, you know? I think it's hard enough just feeling as if you like kind of don't fit in because you don't celebrate the same holiday that millions of other people do. But to also add on that you should feel sad that you don't celebrate it is just, I think that's just really sucky. And that's just something that's always like hit different for me, like not in a good way at all. So I just really think that we should stay away from saying that to people who don't celebrate Christmas. That shouldn't be your initial reaction. And it's not just like kids that say things, it's also adults, which I struggle to understand, but I also understand. But even literally like this year, the other day I was at a tennis camp, and the coach of the tennis camp like was like, oh, you guys must be excited. And I thought he was talking about tennis, and I was like, yeah. And then he was like, oh, I wasn't talking about tennis, I was talking about Christmas. And I was like, oh yeah, yay, Christmas. And he was kind of like, what, you're not excited about Christmas? And I was kind of just like, oh, I don't really celebrate Christmas. And he was like, oh. He didn't really know what to say after that. And like, I understand that. I just think it's really important to be okay with people not celebrating the same holidays you do, and not making them feel weird about not celebrating. Like not everyone is required to. So that's all I really have for this video. I don't mean for this to come across as I'm complaining at all. This is just me kind of trying to explain my perspective on things, and also how I felt growing up with Christmas being such a big holiday and me not celebrating. And I know there's definitely kids out there who feel the same, and to you guys, I just want to say that it's okay that you don't celebrate Christmas, and it's okay that your traditions look different, and don't let anybody make you feel like just because you don't celebrate Christmas, it's like so weird or like it's bad or sad or whatever. Like it's not, it's completely normal and it's okay. But the main takeaway I think from all of this is just that we should be respectful of other people's cultures and traditions. If other people's traditions don't look the same as ours, then we shouldn't be so quick to judge them or say things that can be perceived as hurtful. Just because it's a holiday that is such good memories for you and like this and that doesn't mean that that is the same for everyone else. And we just need to be more open-minded to that and recognize it. That's all. Okay guys, that's all I have. Thank you so much for listening to this. If you did, I'm so thankful that I'm able to share my perspective with you guys and hopefully help you recognize a new perspective. But yeah, that's all. If you have any comments about any of this, or if you would like to share your traditions around Christmas or personal experiences or anything, leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe. My videos aren't all like this, but I can definitely make more videos like this if this is something you guys enjoy. Leave a like if you like this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!